What if you could engage every visitor to your site in a real conversation, from qualifying intent to booking meetings and more, and get all of that in your CRM? Welcome to One Amazing Thing About Docket. Today we're talking with Arjun Pillai, CEO and founder at Docket, and he's going to be sharing one amazing thing about their platform with us today. Arjun, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me. Excited to do this.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing this in action. Before we do, though, why don't you give us a little background on you and your role at Docket?
Sure. Yeah. At Docket, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Docket. I've been at this for over 2.5 years at this point, I guess. My background, for right or wrong, I've been in the MarTech and sales tech space for the last 13 years. Long time. I've
Yeah,
done two
sure.
companies prior, sold both of them successfully, thankfully. Everybody made money. My second company, though, I sold to ZoomInfo, which is a pretty well-known name in the MarTech sales tech ecosystem. And I ended up being the chief data officer of ZoomInfo. I also built the marketing platform for ZoomInfo. That was just prior to Docket, and then I started Docket. Docket as a company. We have raised over $20 million so far, and we are over 50 people at this point, over 50 customers worldwide.
Wonderful. Well, congrats so far on you and Docket's success, and yeah, looking forward to seeing this in action in a minute. Before we do, though, why don't we start with you giving us a little background? Why did you choose to show us what you're going to show us in a minute here, and who's the audience, and why is it important to them?
Yeah, absolutely. We primarily sell to the marketing leaders and revenue leaders. Getting to revenue has never been harder than where it is right now, except for the Anthropics and OpenAIs of the world who is minting money, and Nvidia. Jensen is making a lot of money. Everybody else, we are struggling to make revenue, right? And the world is moving so fast that people are trying to figure out how does AI fit into this whole go-to-market thing. So when I speak to marketing and revenue leaders, one thing that I have continuously observed over the years is website is kind of the hub for all the marketing revenue activities that you do. You run an ad, put them to website. You do a webinar, put them to website. Everything is on the website. And in this world, what's happening is ChatGPT is habituating your buyers to do the research on ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity. And then they come to your website. They don't want that form. They don't want to submit that form. They don't want to read your 200 pages. They are habituated to ask a question, get an answer. So our thesis is that every first conversation with your buyer will be with an agent. And for that agent to work extremely well, much like a salesperson needs to know the buyer really well, and the salesperson needs to know the product really well. If you can combine these in a salesperson, the salesperson will do really well. We do the same thing with our agent. Our agent, Docket, is a conversational marketing agent that sits on the website, understands your buyer at a person and company level, knows everything about your product lines, competitors, objections, KPIs, testimonials, case studies, and can combine this context to give a really amazing first call experience so that your buyers are qualifying themselves to become what we call as an agent qualified lead. And
Yeah.
then it gets passed on to your sales team for a much better conversion. So our customers typically see 15% more into their pipeline from the same traffic that they have, and the AQLs, the agent qualified leads, convert at a 12% higher win rate.
Love it. Well, yeah, let's take a look. Why don't you share your screen?
Yeah, can't wait to show everybody this. So what I'm going to show is that experience with the conversational agent. I'm going to show it on my website. For people who are listening, feel free to go to docket.io, play with the agent yourself, try to break it. And if you end up breaking it, let me know so that, it'll be good feedback for us. I'm going to share my screen. You're seeing our website. So Greg, as I was saying, right, we have all these pages that are written out, 200, 300. Believe it or not, some companies have 2 million pages that they have written. I don't want to read all of that. I just
Right.
want to come, click on the agent and start chatting and ask my questions, get my answers in
Great to
real
pick
time.
this back.
Hey, I know we have chatted in the past. I pretty much forgot everything. Can you tell me what Docket's marketing agent is all about? So Greg, you're seeing that it answered the question in a detailed way, and then it's following up with a follow-up question, trying to guide that conversation so that it's not a dead-end chat, but the conversation is kind of ensuing from there. I have used a legacy chat in the past, and I was wondering how you are different from them. Understood.
Intelligently and book
Okay,
meetings.
that makes sense. what are some of the KPIs that I should look for to make sure that Docket is working for me? That's interesting. But I am always worried when it comes to an agent. How do you make sure that the answers are accurate from the content that you're giving out?
That
Understood.
means answers are limited to.
This is awesome. I think I have heard enough. I want to book a meeting. So Greg, you saw that, it's asking. So since it already knew me from the memory, that's why it started with, hey, great to have you back, Arjun. So if you go and check it out, then it wouldn't call you by name because it doesn't know you yet. And you will get a different flow, sort of. No, it's not a hard scripted flow, right? We have given the agent the full ability. So the difference here is that there is the agent that's talking to you, and then there's a thinker agent behind that has access to all these tools. So the slides that you see pull up, the videos, the calendars, the write back to CRM, all these are tools that we have given to the agent. So the agent is truly, truly taking the decision and continuing the conversation. And that's why we call it like an agentic marketing approach.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so then I imagine, when you booked that meeting, with the calendar, then the chat that you just had is carried through as well, right?
Yeah, that's the big difference, right? It is not even the chat. We have the ability to do post call agentic actions. So you can, by default, we'll give you a summary, the pain points, the next steps that they ask for, who are the other people who they mentioned on the call. All of this will get written right back to the CRM, and you have full control in terms of where it gets written, how it gets written. There is also, a bunch of enrichment built into the platform, right? The moment somebody lands, about 60% of the cases, we know which account that is. We write back that. Then the moment they give us an email, we enrich with the person details, the company details, the technographic details. If there are specific enrichment for our customers, some people want to know whether they are on Shopify. Some customers want to know how much is their media spent, based on which they can do the routing. So the agent also does like amazing routing based on Salesforce ownership, HubSpot deal ownership, contact ownership, territory based routing, segment based routing. So the agent is like your inbound SDR with a lot of product knowledge like a sales engineer. So an inbound SDR and a sales engineer is sitting on your website.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then the fact that you could come back and ask additional questions means, I mean, that I think that's one of the biggest frustrations in web experience is just that disconnect between visits, right? You may not always have time to do everything in one sitting, or you may just come up with additional questions over the
Yeah.
course of a couple days, right?
Yeah, we have seen that. We had a customer who came to the website over 7 days, a conversation of total of 22 minutes. And then they came in, booked the meeting after the 22 minutes interaction, and the deal closed in 16 days. Because they got all their questions answered in the 22 minutes that they brought the buying committee in the first call. Second call, the buying committee advanced, the MSA was sent, and 16 days, the whole deal was done. We looked at the data. When the deal size is over 100,000, buyers are coming to your website more than 35 times.
Hmm, I believe
And
it.
if you look at our stats, right, once a conversation starts, 31% of our conversations are over a minute long. And 38% of our conversations have bottom of the funnel topics like onboarding, security, pricing, these kinds of topics being discussed by the agent. So there is no question that this is the future. And whether you want the avatar, whether you only want the voice is interesting. Voice is converting 56% better than text,
Wow. Yeah.
right? So we looked at this data end to end. Some people get creeped out by avatar. I understand. I haven't made my viewpoint on it. If you don't want the avatar, you can configure the platform with just voice. If you don't want voice, you can configure it just using text. Right? This is all doable in this whole new AI paradigm. So it's up to you.
Right, right. Yeah, love it. Well, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna check it out. I definitely recommend everyone does. Just for those watching here, what's the best way to access it?
Yeah, just go to docket.io and the agent is live pretty much across the website. Feel free to click it from anywhere. Ask any questions that you have. In the ideal case, the agent should be giving you all the answers, the next steps, prompting questions, follow-up questions, qualification questions. Feel free to ask it all kinds of questions. Even ask out of scope questions, right? See if it is really grounded in the knowledge. Try to ask it to kind of create a Python script or something, or make it a relationship advisor for you, and see if you are able to do it.
I love
Do
it.
all kinds of crazy things.
Love a challenge. So yeah, no, that's great. And yeah, great. Looking forward to seeing this more in action. So again, I'd like to thank Arjun Pillai, CEO and founder at Docket, for joining the show. You can learn more about Arjun and Docket by following the links in the show notes.